What's up guys, this is Sock. Welcome to the video. This is going to be our first deck profile on this channel, run by Handloop and I. We're going to be a channel focused on deck profiles, feature matches, and casual and competitive duels. With that said, let's get into the Harpie Lady deck profile. So first up, we've got 3 Harpie Lady 1s, 1 Harpie Lady Sisters, 2 Harpie Hunting Ground, 3 Elegant Egotist, 3 Offerings to the Doomed, 3 Zomas, and here's the spice. We got 3 Parasites, 2 Perfectly Ultimate Great Moths, and then that concludes the deck. And here's the skill card, the Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. And for our side deck, we have 2 Spear Karibos, 2 Warrior Eliminations, and 2 Visor Shocks. Now I'll pass it off to Handloop, which will give a detailed explanation of the deck.
What's up guys, Handloop here. Gonna get into a detailed explanation of the Harpie Lady deck profile. As you might have seen from Sock, we are running the Parasite Paranoid engine along with the Cocoon of Ultra Evolution skill. Through testing, I've found that this package alone just completely spikes the power of this deck. Those of you who are familiar with the old Harpie deck might have known that you were running Switcheroo, as well as things like Triangle Ecstasy Spark, multiple sisters, and basically your goal was just maybe summon out a ground. If you don't have ground, whatever, you have Spark. Throwing Harpie 1 down, going Egotist, trying to push for game that way with maybe Offerings. The issue I found with that deck is just the consistency. If you summon out your 1 and it gets Offerings, you are in a losing state. It's definitely going to pass over to their turn. If they have monsters, they're pushing you in, and now you're at a lack of HP, even if you have your Spear Karibo that was run in that build. And then, let's say you do, for whatever reason, survive. You go to push on your turn. If you don't have the back row or the Ecstasy Spark, you're going to be running into Zomas, maybe even another Offerings, whatever it may be. It's just a very, very slow deck, to say the least. So I did some playtesting, and I found that the Parasite Paranoid engine, 5-card engine, just fixes that problem. You now have a more aggressive deck. You're able to clear problematic monsters that you wouldn't have been able to before without Offerings. Now you essentially have 6 immediate removals for monsters that you may need. Throwing in the Zomas, this is a 3 of in almost any deck. It burns, it's an 1800 body, it's tribute fodder. It's really whatever you need. This is the best card in the format right now. Running every deck. No way you can pass it up. So getting into the deck, key things to note. Paranoid. This can be used as a starter or it can be used as a backup. If you have your Harpie engine, you can go in with that, especially if you have ground, try and pop some back row, clear things out before you go in with the Paranoid, bring out that Moth, have them be protected, not have to deal with Offerings. If they do choose to disrupt your Harpie engine and you have that Paranoid, then, let them do it. Let them Offerings you, let them throw out a wheel, do whatever. Paranoid them, push. Use your skill, shuffle, get more combo pieces that you may have not had. Obviously, you can draw on the Offerings or whatever it may be. Very, very good engine. This engine alone just boosts the consistency insanely. As far as Sister goes, so you guys may have seen, maybe you were questioning it, only opted for 1 Sisters. Few reasons behind that. Discussed this a little bit with my friend PDS. He's pretty familiar with the game, knows what he's talking about. No reason to run this in multiples. You run it in 1, you're good to go. Elegant Egotist actually can summon off Harpie Lady 1 as well. And you may have not known, but 2 Harpie Lady 1s is more damage with the Sisters than 2 Sisters and 1 Harpie Lady 1. Just something to note so that you can kind of understand the reasoning behind running 1 Sisters. Outside of that, let's get into the side deck because the core deck is very self-explanatory. Shouldn't have any issues understanding that. I've noticed a lot of people struggle with their side deck. We are running 2 Spear Karibos, so these, self-explanatory, these are going to be good in the Moth matchup, also going to be good in the Conflict matchup. Help you deal with those pushes, let them tribute off their monster. If you have this alongside your Paranoid, you hit them with the Karibo, and then you tribute off with the Paranoid. You're in a pretty good state. Next 2 cards, Warrior Elimination. So with Warrior Elimination, you're going to side these in versus Twisted, drop out 2 of the offerings, put in the Warrior Elims. You're not going to be losing your draw, have the ability to pop multiple monsters. They love to flood the board. They walk into this every time. They don't really have an option. It's either they walk into it, or they're playing the game too slow, and then you're gaining advantage. Visor Shock. Anybody competing in tournaments may have seen there's a little bit of stall going on right now. You have Apprentice Magician, Eudoria, Vindictive, all those set cards that you can't deal with right now. We're waiting on Nobleman of Crossout from the newest set, and then maybe we'll be able to deal with them easier. But for right now, in this specific deck, I wouldn't say in Moth or any other deck, Visor Shock's amazing. You just want to wait. You want to wait until you have a way to spam out 3 monsters onto the board in the same turn. That can be by setting the Lady 1, having a Egotist and a Zoma, or setting Lady 1, having 2 Egotists, flip her up on your turn, use the double Egotist, bring out some more monsters, and now if they want to respond to that, let them. I mean, they can do that, you're still going to be good. Tribute off with the Visor Shock, return all their monsters. If they choose the offerings, like I said, if you're going to have multiple copies on board, it's not going to hurt you. And they might be able to Nightmare Wheel. Let's say they do Nightmare Wheel or they Zoma. Make sure you have that Paranoid in hand. Tribute it off. You're going to have more than enough on your board for game. Shouldn't have any issues in that matchup. Be patient, draw your combo pieces, and then make one push. Thankfully, when you are running 2 Visor Shocks, you're going to have 2 chances to do that. So if they do have the key cards to stop it, for whatever reason they have 3 offerings or any other nonsense like that, whatever. Wait a turn, next turn, 2 turns later, whatever it may be, go in with the same play. You're going to be able to take them out. Their Ladybugs will not heal them for enough. By turn 6, you're going to have the combo in hand, especially running a 20 card deck versus their 30 or 25 card deck, whatever they choose to run. Ladybugs are not going to be able to get them to a high enough HP before you can make that push. So guys, that really concludes things. There's not too much to talk about with this deck. A lot of the combos are things people may already know. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm definitely here to help or answer questions, or also I'm looking for insight. I mean, if you guys have any things that you would recommend for the deck or you think would be better than what you currently see here, let me know. I'm definitely open for discussion on it. I love seeing innovation in the community. So yeah, that rounds everything off. Feel free to shoot a subscribe and a like. And we are definitely going to be doing more profiles as well as some duel videos here coming up soon. So, if you like everything, just keep checking us out. Next on the list is probably going to be a Dark Magician build to let you guys know. Thanks for tuning in.